Maybe the Slave Knight Gael is bound by the home chord, but he's trying to break through. Hey music friends, this is Davi Vasc. I'm a music composer for games, and today I am going to finally listen to one of the most requested Souls tracks in the recent history of this channel. It's Slave Knight Gael from Dark Souls 3. I'm excited. Let's go. Man, I have a few expectations about this. And so far my expectations are being met. There's some patterns to Dark Souls 3 music. Pay attention to this insistence on this chord. I'm gonna talk about that later. Oh, and there's a solo singer. It's building up. Pay attention to the strings. They're getting faster and louder. Oh. Ooh. Interesting. Yeah. They are insisting in the... I assume this is just a build-up for an eventual second phase, right? Because this is surprisingly tame for Souls boss theme. But as it's the case with a lot of Dark Souls 3 tracks, they really did something with the music in this game, in the sense that they had this pattern across multiple tracks where they insist a lot on this chord, on this home chord. You can hear this on many of the tracks that I've heard before. They have this pattern of always resting here for a long time. Even if they stray away a little bit, they go here, then they go back, right, to this home chord. And there's a sensation of finality, there's a sensation of almost apathy and death, but also finality, conclusion, of resolution. And this is exactly what it is. It's a resolution chord. It's the home chord, is the chord where the song rests, and they build a little bit of tension, and then they resolve again, and they keep insisting, they keep resting on this chord, which of course makes total sense because Dark Souls 3 is such a conclusion, right? It's the finale of the Dark Souls trilogy, and it seems like they are doing this again here. So far it sounds very sad, man. There's a sensation, like I said, sensation of death and finality. But also something that caught my attention was that solo singer. It adds an extra layer of individuality to this. There's a lot of emotion, of course, but the solo singer adds... Listen. It's a single cry, a single voice, an individual voice of longing, of sorrow. What's intriguing is that it's a female voice, when Gael, I assume, is male. And they keep insisting. Listen to this, they did it. They stray away from the home chord, they build a little tension, and then they go back to the home chord. It's like an unavoidable fate. It's like a cycle, right? Dark Souls is also a lot about cycles, right? Cycle of life, decay, and then death. cycles back to the home chord, to the resting chord. They're gonna do some different chords here. Listen to this. Let me show you this one. So, like I said, there's a lot of insistence on the home chord, but they also have to do some different things every now and then, right? So we have some signature disturbing chords here in this part. But despite they straying off into some other more tense, disturbing chords, they always cycle back to the home chord. Look, they're just resting now. It's the sense of finality, the sense of... Oh! Second phase is coming. I wonder how intense it will be. Very intense, very intense. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. At the beginning there, I felt like I could hear a little bit of a more positive chord with a sense of majesty to it, of glory. Oh! There's a lot more chaos now. Amazing, man. And the solo singer is still there. I wonder what it means though. Man, that was amazing. Super intense. The solo singer intrigues me. Usually when they use solo singers, I mean, it can go either way, but it's very common for them when they use solo singers, for the solo singers to actually mean something specific, to actually be the voice of someone specific. In this case, Slave Knight Gael, I assume is a male, right? So it wouldn't make sense for him to have a female voice. I don't know if there's a female character related to him somehow, or it just could be like for an emotional effect. It might not mean anything. Not everything in music like means something, you know, in relation to the story of the game. Maybe it's just an aesthetic choice, right? The single solo female voice gives, like I said in the beginning, an added sense of individuality. Is a more nuanced performance. Is more nuanced than a full choir, right? Because it's just one voice, so there's more nuance, there's more articulation and emotion in it. So maybe that's all they want. They want to infuse this with an emotion of longing, of suffering, which, you know, I don't know the story of Slave Knight Gael, but longing and suffering and sorrow sounds appropriate for a slave character. So there was also, in the beginning here, I felt like I heard a little sense of glory, a little bit more positivity. Let me check. Guys, I found something really interesting here, really unusual. Look at these chords. At the beginning of second phase. Did you notice how glorious and positive this chord sounds? A surprising happy chord. So they're doing this. This is a chord that was not supposed to be happy. This chord doesn't belong here. In its place, there should be a sad chord. This one, which is a chord. They did this exact chord, this sad chord, in the first phase. Now in the second phase, they replaced it with a wrong chord, a chord that is happy when it was not supposed to be. This, of course, this is called a borrowed chord. This is something common, but it's not common in this way. It's not common to replace a sad chord with a happy chord, specifically in soul's music, because we know this. Soul's music is all about, you know, sadness and the brutality and terror. They don't make songs happier than they should be, but they are doing it here. Of course, this doesn't sound exactly happy, but there's an added sense of positivity and glory, and may I say, redemption. The name of the boss, Slave Knight Gael, makes me think of someone that is bound by fate, right? Bound by his fate as a slave. Maybe what happens in the second phase is that maybe there's a breakthrough of like he's breaking his chains and maybe rebelling against his slave fate. I don't know if that's true, but it also makes sense considering the cyclical nature of the Dark Souls music patterns that I told you about before. The song is bound by the home chord that they keep coming back to. They stray away a little bit, but the home chord pulls them back. So I don't know, maybe the Slave Knight Gael is bound by the home chord, but he's trying to break through, right? Very cool. They are varying the chords a little bit more. The chord is still more or less bound by the home chord, but it feels like he's trying to stray off a little bit. And the solo singer, man, is such a cry of sorrow. Oh, these choirs, man. Man, hold up. The bass in that last part was so cool, man. Oh, they're doing the happy chord again. They're doing the unexpected happy chord again. That's so cool, man. I have to show you. Hold up. This is so cool. Man, this is so unusual for Souls to have this happy chord. And they not only did it at the beginning, they are insisting on it. Is some sort of chorus for this song. Man, so I feel like this is really important for the song. It's really important for the story of this character. I really think this is some sort of breakthrough, some sort of final stand for Slave Knight Gael, where he's trying to break from his chains or something. Now, let me show you the very cool bass line that they did earlier here that also sounds to me like a kind of breakthrough kind of bass, where he's maybe finding his strength, finding, I don't know, his freedom again. Man, if I'm wrong about this is gonna look very stupid, but this is how I feel about this. I don't know the story of this boss at all. This is just what I'm getting from the music. Look at how the rising bass line gives it an infusion of excitement. So cool, man. It interacts so well with the rest of the harmony. Glorious happy chord. Amazing, man. It's about to end, I feel like. Oh! Wait. Oh, it's getting disturbing now. This almost sounds like a third phase. It's so different. This is not glorious anymore. I feel like this is disturbing now. It's faster too. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh. Oh man. So melancholic. Again, the solo singer. Oh, disturbing chord. Man. And we are again bound by the home chord. Man, I feel like this is not a happy ending for Slave Knight Gael. Poor guy. Hey, I have a bunch of videos just like this one on more Dark Souls music. There's Dark Souls 1 stuff there, there's Dark Souls 3, and over here I have a bunch of videos on Souls games in general. There's Bloodborne, Elden Ring, all the stuff we all know and love. So remember, whenever you're ready to spread your wings and go on a music journey again, I'll see you there.